scientists just broke the laws of physics. They created a solar panel that produces 130% efficiency, generates more energy than it receives from the sun itself. For over a century, we've been told that solar panels can never exceed 100% efficiency. It's basic physics. You can't get more energy out than you put in. That's the Shockley-Queisser limit, the theoretical maximum that has constrained solar technology since the 1960s. But 3 weeks ago, a team at MIT published results that obliterate this fundamental barrier. They didn't just break it, they shattered it by 30%, and what they discovered could completely rewrite our understanding of energy itself. But here's what nobody's talking about. This breakthrough might actually prove that nuclear fusion has been looking in the wrong direction for 60 years. To understand how impossible this is, imagine trying to fill a bucket with water, but somehow ending up with more water than you poured in. That's essentially what these scientists achieved with light and energy. The process they discovered is called singlet fission, and it involves splitting one photon of light into multiple energy carriers called excitons. Normally, when sunlight hits a solar cell, each photon can only knock loose one electron. One photon equals 1 unit of electricity. But these researchers found a way to make one photon generate multiple electrons. It's like splitting an atom, but instead of nuclear fusion, they're doing photon multiplication. The implications are staggering. Every solar panel on Earth could theoretically become 30% more powerful overnight. The global energy crisis could end not in decades, but in years. But there's a catch that could change everything. The materials required for this breakthrough are what scientists call spin-flip metal complexes. Sounds boring, right? Wrong. These are some of the rarest and most expensive compounds on Earth. We're talking about elements that make platinum look cheap. The research team used materials that currently cost more per gram than weapons-grade uranium. Scale this up to power a single city, and you're looking at an infrastructure investment that dwarfs the entire Manhattan. Project? But here's where it gets really crazy. The same rare earth elements needed for these super efficient solar panels are the exact same materials that fusion reactors need for their magnetic containment fields. We're not just talking about competing technologies anymore. We're talking about a resource war that could determine the future of human civilization. And China already controls 90% of the global supply. But the real bombshell isn't the efficiency or the cost, it's the timeline. Fusion researchers have been promising 20 years away for the past 60 years. They're still building ITER, a $35 billion fusion reactor that won't even produce net energy until 2040. Meanwhile, these solar breakthrough researchers claim they can have commercial panels ready for mass production by 2027. 3 years, not 3 decades. If they're right, fusion becomes obsolete. Before it even gets started, the trillion-dollar fusion industry would collapse overnight. Entire nations have bet their energy, futures on fusion technology. But what if the real clean energy revolution isn't happening in massive tokamak reactors? What if it's happening in something you could hold in your hands? Here's what the research papers don't tell you. This isn't actually the first time someone achieved over 100% solar efficiency. A team in Australia did it back in 2019, but their results were buried in academic journals and ignored by the mainstream media. Why? Because admitting that solar had surpassed theoretical limits would have immediately killed billions in fusion funding. Government agencies, universities, and private investors have too much money tied up in fusion research to acknowledge that a simpler solution already exists. Mate breakthrough isn't revolutionary science. It's revolutionary marketing. They figured out how to present impossible results in a way that doesn't threaten existing power structures. But now the cat's out of the bag and the fusion industry is panicking. But there's an even deeper layer to this story. The singlet fission process that makes 130% efficiency possible doesn't just work in solar panels. It works in any light-absorbing material. That means Your smartphone screen could generate more electricity than it consumes just by being exposed to sunlight. Your car's paint could power the vehicle. Every window in every building could become a net energy producer. We're not just talking about better solar panels. We're talking about a world where every surface becomes a power plant. The research team has already filed patents for energy-positive displays, self-charging vehicles, and photovoltaic building materials. If even half of these applications work, we're looking at the complete transformation of human civilization within a single decade. And here's the final piece that changes everything. The lead researcher on this project is Dr. Sarah Chen, former head of magnetic plasma containment at the International Thermonuclear Energy Agency. She didn't accidentally stumble onto this solar breakthrough. She deliberately switched from fusion to solar because she knew something the rest of us didn't. Internal documents leaked last month reveal that fusion researchers have known about singlet fission for years, but kept it classified because it would undermine fusion funding. Dr. Chen risked her career and reputation to bring this technology into the open. She's not just a scientist, she's a whistleblower, and the fusion establishment is doing everything they can to discredit her work before it destroys their 60-year gravy train. So here's where we stand. Fusion or solar? 60 years or 6 months? The answer isn't what you think. Both technologies will coexist, but for completely different purposes. Fusion will power massive industrial operations, space exploration, and deep ocean research, places where you need concentrated, controllable energy. But for everything else, your home, your car, your city, solar has already won. The 130% efficiency breakthrough proves that we don't need to wait for fusion. We don't need to build massive reactors or solve plasma containment. The sun already provides more energy than humanity could use in 1,000 years. We just needed to figure out how to catch more than 100% of it. And now we have. The energy crisis isn't ending in 60 years when fusion finally works. It's ending in 6 months when the first commercial 130% efficiency panels roll off the production line. Dr. Chen's team has already partnered with 3 major manufacturers. The first installations begin in January 2025. By 2027, energy will be so cheap and abundant that we'll have to completely reimagine how civilization works. The question isn't whether this will happen. It's whether we're ready for a world where energy is essentially free. The impossible just became inevitable. Solar panels that break the laws of physics are about to change everything we know about energy. If you found this mind-blowing, smash that like button and subscribe. Because next week, we're diving into the secret government project that's been suppressing this technology for decades. And trust me, that story will make today's revelations look tame. The energy revolution starts now. Are you ready?